supports a diverse range of flora and fauna and plays a crucial role in maintaining the environmental health of our country. Similarly, our designated government layouts are vital for orderly urban development and the sustainable use of our land resources. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, and prevent future occurrences. The media's role in this process is invaluable, and we are grateful for your presence and your commitment in keeping the public informed. Your support and vigilance help us uphold the principles of transparency and accountability. We have full confidence in the abilities and dedications of the members of the task forces to carry out their critical task with the highest standards of integrity and diligence. Therefore, on that note, I welcome you all today and thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that. PS1 has mentioned that this is an important exercise. And it is important because over the years we have seen a lot of conflicts related to land. Not only in the Greater Banjul area, but I think beyond the Greater Banjul area. And things are getting worse and worse. We hear about these things every blessed day. So I think for the ministry itself, under the leadership of the Honorable Minister, to lead this, to embark on such an exercise, and for us to be elected is really an honor. I will assure you, Honorable Minister, Permanent Secretary 1 and 2, that we will do our utmost. We will do the best we can, because this is really a big task that you have shown us. So we will do our best to ensure that we will support you. We will help you in any way we can, so that things are properly put in their right place. I think I speak for all the members when I say this. Land is indeed important. I have said that before. We use it for various purposes, but over time it has become a problem. It has become a source of conflict, for so many communities. But we will help you, Honorable Minister. We will support you. Thank you very much.
Directors of the ministry, my colleagues in the task force, members of the press. On behalf of my colleagues in the task force, I have the honor to express sincere gratitude to you, the Honorable Minister, in bestowing confidence and responsibility on us to serve in the task forces to investigate land transactions in various government layouts in the Gambia. This formidable task force, or the team that you have appointed, has a fundamental job at hand, as the task before us is challenging. The problems associated with land administration in the Gambia are numerous, but inshallah, we will live up to the expectations. Honorable Minister, I think I have to take this opportunity to state that as a former Director of Lands, an efficient land administration, ownership, holdings, uses cannot be adequately achieved without a sound land policy that ensures effective implementation of the administration of our land resources. A proper implemented land policy is a pillar to achieving socio-economic growth and development. Honorable Minister, I humbly affirm that this task force will do its utmost to meet the goal and objectives of our terms of reference. Thank you very much.
Colleagues in the task force, members of the press, I'm honored to be a member of this team. We were in the waiting room, all of us, for the first time meeting one another. I said, Mr. Minister, I looked at the team, I said, wait a minute, it seems that I'm the oldest here. I'm going to take my responsibility. We don't know each other. Let's introduce ourselves. Rather than sitting here and looking at each other, we all introduce ourselves. So we started talking over there. It's an honor. And also to congratulate you for putting this task force. Land issue is not only Gambia, it's all over the world. In the Middle East, Hamas, etc., is about land. In Gambia in the 50s, we who witnessed the Jara tonnage about fighting of land field. First time the field force went with tear gas and it was all talked over in the country was about land. Recently, we have seen what is happening in the Greater Banjul area. It's catastrophic. We have seen the Alcalolus giving double allocations. These are all. Triple. We have seen reserve lands, waterways, biodiversity-rich areas being allocated for residential area. One thing I'll congratulate, for the first time you're having a task force with environmentalists, because you cannot allocate land without looking to the environmental impact of where. I said that in certain areas, if you take Monkey Park, the monkeys who are living there is human beings who went there and met them in their habitat. That's why they are jumping over the streets. That's why we in the international scene, if you go to Kenya, we tell that you move over where the lions are. So we have to share. So we have to look at how to make a win-win situation. That is a great thing. It's not going to be easy. Some areas have been developed already, but the law is the law. I'll tell you, Mr. Chairman, in my leadership, I don't have any fear. We just follow the law. Land reform for governance, transparency, equitable, and that's the key word, equitable distribution of land, and sustainable development. I've been learned that sustainable development, the simplest definition is the three-legged stool. If you cut one leg, it will fall. One is environment, one is economic, one is social. They all go together. That's what we are going to do, and hopefully we'll be able to come with recommendation that will solve the problem that you want to solve. It's not an easy task, Mr. Chair, but Allah has shown us the way. In Surah Al-Bahara, the last ayah, 286 said, La yukallifu nafsan illa usaha laha ma kasabat wa alayha man kasabat. That is, any heavy task, Allah will make it light for you. And we pray to Allah that He will make it light for all of us. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Madam Permanent Secretary and Mr. Permanent Secretary, Deputy Permanent Secretaries, Directors, Senior Government Officials, members of the committees, task force, and of course, the media at large. It is an important moment for us as we, as a government, have always said that we will never be tired in trying to get things right. I think President Barrow, when he was assigning me this ministry, he said, I'm giving you one of your biggest tasks, but I know you've done it somewhere. Hopefully, I have no doubt you will get it done in other places. And that we need to really look at the Ministry of Local Government and correct it and do the right things there. He believes there is a lot of things that needs to be done. When I came here 2 days, 3 days, I went to him, I said, I know why you brought me to this ministry. I said, it's a huge task, and no single individual can do it. I said, I cannot do it alone. We have a team there, but we need to really invite men and women of expertise to help us get it done. It is a huge task. Huge in the sense that we are at a crossroad as a nation. And I always said it's important that Gambians understand the danger that we face when it comes to land. We are the 5th most densely populated country in Africa. Among them, all of them, with the exception of Mauritius and the others, have gone to war, kill each other on the issue of land. Thank God we are safe for the time being. But you all know that the United Nations, the AU, ECOWAS, everybody believe the next crisis of Gambia, if we don't manage, will be on land. The imminent danger to this country would be on land crisis. And therefore, as a government, we cannot sit idly and sit down and watch things happening without addressing it. And that's why we felt rather we have to do the right thing. And in doing that, the Gambian would appreciate at least we're doing something to correct the wrongs of the last 50 years or so. You cannot run a ministry for 60 years, close to 60 years. You never had a policy that would dictate and drive the strategies. Because it's the policy that would dictate the strategy. It's a strategy that you will implement to address the issues as you move on. And that's why you are all aware that with the support of the World Bank and other international agencies, we are now we are working on a policy, and everybody's involved in this policy. We hope the first draft will come out in the month of April 2025. That would certainly go a long way in trying to address some of the problems that we had in this ministry. And then going further, we also believe that the current trend, as the chairman of the Environment Committee, Tambi Wetland Committee, have said, the crisis today are escalating to a level that it is alarming. I was at my home 2 days ago. Around 7 o'clock, I saw a man came in with someone, looking furious, very angry. I said, let me pray, Maghrib. He said, no, he just wants to see me now. He said a truck came, people came to evict him from his home that he built for 20-something years with his family and everything. Spent all his life building that house. That somebody went got a judgment against him that he does not own the land originally, he owns the land. When he's got his own documents himself. To be evicted in that manner, for him it was like killing him, taking the dead body in front of his children. Just these are many of we see every day here. So many problems every day that we look. I cannot imagine. I always ask the question, why when you steal a car, you are charged and taken to police? Even the buyer is charged. But when you steal land, you are not charged to court. Why? The same country, the same laws. Nobody have answered my question. I can steal your land, go and sell it. When I'm caught, I'm not charged for stealing. The buyer is not charged for buying stolen material. But when I steal your car, they will charge me for both crimes, both the buyer and the thief. Why the difference in the law? Why is it discriminate? People are committing crimes on daily basis, selling what does not belong to them, and they go free. Agencies in the name of estate agencies rob an entire family, people. Preliminary report shows what is known, minimum $200 million have been defrauded from Gambians in the name of estate agency, and they are walking in the streets freely. How can we continue with that in a society? Can that continue? It cannot. Somewhere, somehow, we must say that, look, that has to be there. And that's why we believe that this task force will help us. And being in office, holding an office, does not give you ownership of people's land. Whether you are a minister, director, permanent secretary, official, whatever, you don't own the land. You are an officer employed to help manage the usage of that land. It does not give you automatic ownership. Who are you to be giving land without going through due process? Who are you? Because you are an employee of the ministry? You are like any other government employee. And then we've seen double allocation everywhere. The recent report we got on Salaji, is it Salaji layout? Yet to come public is a very bad reading. Terrible reading. Very bad reading. And these are deliberate things done by people who don't fear the law. That one thing I am wondering, why people don't fear the law in the Gambia? I fear the law, I fear policemen so much, people who enforce the law, judges and magistrates. Here some people here don't care whether there is a police arresting you, or whether there is a judge, or whether there is a magistrate, or going to prison. For them, they can commit crime when it comes to land, and they always get free out of it. This is the question that Gambians need to address. We have to go back to the drawing board and say, look, this is a small country. We need, and you know what? We are highly densely populated with a very small piece of land. Even where to do farming, most of us don't have now. And the most dangerous thing is, those who own this land, who travel to the diaspora, are coming back for their land when their parents have gone, coming back to mechanical farming. And that is putting more pressure on the issue of land. When they come, they claim their land. Say, this is my father's land, I want my father's land. And other people seem to be hanging on their land. And this is another potential crisis that is emerging. People don't take land for a joke anymore in the Gambia. And that's why we need to really put the line straight to come out with issues that we can understand. We have chosen you because you are trusted, and we are entrusting you with this responsibility. Mr. Keba Njai, we all know, works in this ministry. I will tell you why I choose him to be chair for that committee. He was the one who implemented the Baji Commission. That's in here. He implemented the Baji Commission to the letter when he was serving in this ministry. This was 1995?
No,
What time was this came out?
It was in the 80s.
80s. The Baji Commission of the 80s. He implemented it to the letter. So he knows this field, he knows this ministry very well. He knows land administration in the Gambia very well. And that's why we got people of credibility to work with him. We want the facts. One day out, we put it before. Let the Gambian people decide. And I can tell you that this government will decide. We will not hesitate to implement your recommendations, to correct the wrongs, and set a new pace for this country in managing our land and our land usage. For by master, we know this man. He spent all his life in working for environment all over the world. He's been all over the world as an expert. We know he has a passion in protecting environment. Minister Jaju is one of the most respectable personalities in this field too. Although he served the Jammeh government, but even when we came to power, we saw the good thing he was doing. The minister was asked to get him as an advisor, to help him. And he wanted to go further, but fortunately he got an international job who had a special passion for this Tambi Wetland area. So with all others we have in that committee too, we believe that they will do us a fantastic job. And that's why we believe that this task force, Gambians are looking forward to it. One thing I'm adding to this, there are lands you need to investigate. What are those lands? Some of the lands of Yaya Jammeh that were not submitted to government as part of his assets, they were not submitted by this ministry. We will task you to investigate. These are, let me read them out. Jammeh was believed to have owned 50 hectares of land in Jambur village. They were not brought to the subcommittee or technical committee that was working on the Jammeh asset. That sub-technical committee submitted to this cabinet subcommittee on Jammeh asset, and that cabinet subcommittee submitted that matter, that report to cabinet, and cabinet made recommendation, of which some of those lands were retained, some of the other lands were sold, and some of the other lands were kept for government usages in the future. These lands were not part of that. And the people, this government want to know what happened with those lands. What happened to them? The 50 hectares in Jambu, the Manduwar village size, 51 hectares in Manduwar, the Madiana Burfoot, 2 kilometers, about 332 by 645 meters wide. The Sanyang Santamba, 3 hectares. Sanyang village, 1.6 hectares. And Manduwar village, 51.5 hectares. And also Gunjur town, land opposite Gunjur Beach Hotel. We want to know, as a government, what happened to these lands. And we want this committee to help us, give us the information, their status, what happened, who did what. And indeed, the 66 hectares at Kasakunda, I know that the police are doing some investigation on it, but we are saying it should be part of what we want you to investigate and tell this ministry, this government, for us to take further direct measures on it. And I would get the permanent secretary to submit you the list, written list of these lands, so that we should be able to get a clear picture of what happened. The ministry is working. We are looking for any other lands that we are not submitted that belongs to ex-President Jammeh and that are supposed to, by the recommendation and the adoption of the Janneh Commission, we will make sure that this ministry will send these things to these committees if we discover any further lands. We'll inform you. Why were they not submitted? What happened to them? Who did what? Who gave what directives? The status of these lands? We want to know. It's important that we know. And the Gambian people need to know. So we are giving you this huge task because, as I said, you are trusted and we are entrusting you with this responsibility. I hope within 6 weeks, maximum 2 months, we should be able to receive a report that we can present for consideration, and subsequently then we'll see our further directives on this, based on your recommendation. On that note, once again, on behalf of the President and the government of the Gambia, and on behalf of the permanent secretaries and members of the staff of this ministry, we thank you for accepting the task. There are few that could not make it today, but they will join you tomorrow because they have already prior engagement. But they have called to say that they will join you tomorrow. And the various chairmen will be submitted the list of, and I think it's important you read out the list of personnel in each of these committees for the benefit of the public and also the press. Give them the names of these, each of them name out the members of that committee for the group of, for the press. On that note, once again, I will let our friend Mr. Usman Jaju to give us the closing remarks, and then we'll invite you for 2-3 questions because it's cabinet day. I have to be in cabinet the next few minutes, but we'll give you 1 or 2 questions, not more than that. Thanks.
Cape Point and bypass area, that is the Abuko Joshua. The chairman of that committee is Bymaster, and the members are Mr. Bolonsonko, Pa Usman Jaju. I represent the permanent secretary, Minister of Environment, Inspector General of Police or his representative, Solicitor General or his representative, and Director SIS or his representative. The other task force is the one that is going to investigate the land transaction in various government layouts and reserve lands. And the chairman of that task force is Mr. Kevanjai. Then you have the Inspector General of Police, you have the Solicitor General, you have the Director SIS, Director General SIS, Madam Jenna Banyang, Mr. Yankuba Sonko, Mr. Madi Sise, and Mr. Kemo Kwante. These are the task force members. Thank you.
And the ministry also will have official.
Of course, yeah. In each of the task